Good morning, everybody. This is Kelly McKinney Golden, and I am doing my intro presentation for ADL 854 School Finance. So just a little bit about me. My original education background for my own education was a bachelor's in history and anthropology. I stayed on for my first master's degree in teaching, and then as a classroom teacher, which I was a classroom teacher for 10 years, I completed my master's in counseling as well as my CAGS in mental health. I left the teaching profession to be able to do my clinical hours so I could be certified by the Board of Health as a licensed mental health counselor. So a little bit more about myself. Again, I was a classroom teacher for 10 years, teaching social studies. I have taught a variety of different courses: Western Civ, world history, US history, sociology, psychology, anthropology, pretty diverse course load. After leaving the teaching profession and doing my clinical hours, I did some outreach work as a counselor and was a clinical supervisor as well at a community mental health agency. And then I went back into the school system and was a building administrator, both in the role of a social emotional support, but also a building administrator. Most recently, I have taken a position in Newport Public Schools in Newport, Rhode Island. I've been there about 3 years, and I work as clinical support and conducting psychological evaluations at both the middle school and high school level. So Newport itself is a pretty small community. The student population is maybe about 2,300 students. There are only 3 schools in the district. There's an elementary, there's a middle, and there's a high school. It's also an urban district. So there's quite a bit of diversity here, even though it's packed into a very small package. Why I have chosen to do the non-degree endorsement program in building leadership is really, at this point, I already have a couple of master's degrees and a postgraduate degree in mental health, but I want to be able to have a certification as a building leader. I was an administrator back in Massachusetts. However, my position was really unique. It was social emotional support and a building administrator, and they don't have the equivalent in Rhode Island, so there wasn't really reciprocity for that particular position. So I'm going back for the building leadership endorsement, and then I can be able to accomplish that in Rhode Island. My real true goal is not necessarily to be a building administrator in Rhode Island. I kind of have my eyes more on the district level and being a social emotional learning coordinator at a district level. Excuse me. Strengths and weaknesses in finance. Personally, I'm very strong at finance and managing my own budget and things of that nature. As a school-based finance, I don't have a tremendous amount of experience. However, I was given the unique opportunity of working on something called the BAR grant over the past year or so in Newport Public Schools. The BAR Foundation is a nonprofit foundation out of Boston, Massachusetts, who collaborates with educational and environmental initiatives. And Newport Public Schools received a grant from this BAR Foundation. Part of that grant was being able to create a budget on how we were going to be able to use those funds. And I had a role in the budgeting of that and did quite a bit of work with that. So I do have some experience there, as well as experience in just grant writing in general. But I would say day-to-day finance in a building, I don't have a tremendous amount of experience in. I certainly make my own kind of requisitions for my particular position, but not any real true day-to-day finance experience. So I guess that would be my weakness. So this summer, I'm going to have a very, very busy summer. We are in the process of moving. So currently we are still in school. We had a gas outage in Newport back in January. So the entire island, because we do live on an island, Aquidneck Island, lost gas power. So heating and electricity through National Grid was all shut off. And so the schools were shut down for about a week. So we have those days to make up. So we're still in school, but we should be wrapping up next week. In the midst of wrapping up, my summer is quite busy because we are closing on a new house in about a week, actually exactly a week from today. So we're in the process of packing and moving and doing all of that. And then later in the summer, along with taking this course, I'm also doing a summer program called Navigate Your Future, which works with 8th graders going to high school and kind of paving their way with some goal setting and having them set on a good path entering their high school career. So you can see a little bit personally about me here, my photos. You see me and my husband and one of our dogs, Poe, in the picture by the beach, and then my husband and our now 3-year-old son as of June 10th. In the lower picture, Gavin. So we are super, super busy this summer, and I'm excited for this course and to learn a little bit more about finance on a day-to-day level, and a building level for the schools district. So it was great talking to everybody, and I'm sure we will share more soon. Thank you.